Elon Musk sat in his office at Tesla headquarters, reading a headline that infuriated him. Popular cafe chain accused of turning away homeless customers. The article detailed how several high-end cafes were denying service to people based on their appearance. Elon rubbed his temple and sighed. Unbelievable, he muttered. With all the resources we have today, how can people still be treated like this? His assistant, Maria, knocked and entered the office. Is everything okay, Elon? You've been glued to that article all morning. He turned his computer screen to her. Look at this. This kind of behavior in businesses, it's unacceptable. Maria skimmed the article. Yeah, that's awful. But what can you do? You're not exactly in the cafe business. Elon leaned back in his chair, a thoughtful expression crossing his face. Maybe I should be, at least for a day. I want to see how these places treat people who have nothing to offer but themselves. I need to experience it firsthand. Maria's eyes widened. Wait, are you saying you're going to go undercover as? Yes, Elon interrupted. As someone who society often looks down on. Someone homeless. Over the next week, Musk's team assembled the best makeup artists and disguise experts. They added prosthetics to his face, giving him deep wrinkles and a scruffy beard. His iconic hairstyle was hidden under a worn-out beanie. His designer clothes were swapped for a tattered coat and jeans with holes. When the transformation was complete, Elon stood in front of the mirror and barely recognized himself. Maria whistled. Wow. You look rough. Perfect, Elon said with a smirk. She handed him a small earpiece. We'll be monitoring everything from HQ. If you need anything, just tap your ear twice, and I'll call you. Thanks, Maria. Let's see how the world treats me now. The first cafe Elon visited was Café Verdant, an upscale spot known for attracting tech elites. As he stepped inside, the luxurious atmosphere hit him, marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and soft classical music playing in the background. He could feel the stares almost immediately. The hostess, a tall woman with a stiff posture, approached him with a forced smile. Can I help you? I'd like a coffee, Elon said, keeping his voice low. The hostess glanced at his clothes, her smile faltering. Sir, we have a dress code here. Our clientele expects a certain atmosphere. I just want a cup of coffee, he repeated calmly. Her smile turned cold. I'm afraid we can't serve you. Please leave. Elon looked around, noting the judgmental glances from the other patrons. Without another word, he walked out and tapped his earpiece. That was worse than I expected. At Mocha Bliss, Elon was at least allowed to order, but the experience was far from welcoming. The barista barely acknowledged him, rolling her eyes as he requested a coffee and a sandwich. As he sat at a table, Elon noticed other customers receiving their orders within minutes. He checked the time, 30 minutes passed, then 40. Finally, the barista slapped his cold coffee and a stale sandwich on the table without saying a word. Excuse me, Elon called out. Is there a reason I've been waiting this long? The barista shrugged. We've been busy. Elon glanced around. The cafe was half empty. Right. Busy. The barista walked off without another word. Elon sighed and left the food untouched. Strike two, he whispered into his earpiece. The third cafe, the Warm Cup, had a hand-painted sign outside that read, "Everyone is welcome." Elon entered cautiously, unsure what to expect. A young barista with bright red hair spotted him and smiled warmly. Hey there. Come on in. What can I get for you? Elon blinked in surprise. Just a small coffee, if that's okay. Of course, it's okay. Take a seat anywhere. I'll bring it to you. He sat at a corner table, observing the cafe. It was modest but cozy, with shelves of donated books and a community bulletin board filled with flyers for local events. After a few minutes, the barista brought him a steaming cup of coffee and a fresh croissant. "I didn't order this," Elon said, raising an eyebrow. "It's on the house," she replied with a wink. "We like to spread a little kindness around here." As Elon sipped his coffee, he noticed how the cafe operated differently from the others. A young boy who couldn't afford a full meal was given a free cookie and milk without any fuss. An elderly man in a wheelchair was helped to his table by a staff member. A man named Tony, clearly struggling with life, walked in hesitantly. The barista greeted him like an old friend. "Hey, Tony. Good to see you. Want your usual?" "Yeah, thanks," Tony mumbled, looking relieved. Elon couldn't believe what he was seeing. He approached the counter to speak with the cafe owner, a kind-hearted woman named Mrs. Delgado. "Your cafe is incredible," Elon said. "How do you stay afloat while helping so many people?" Mrs. Delgado smiled warmly. "We believe in community support. When you treat people with kindness, they pay it forward. It's not always easy, but it's worth it." The next day, Elon returned to the warm cup, this time without his disguise. Cameras followed as he walked in, causing a stir among the staff and customers. Mrs. Delgado gasped. "Elon Musk? What are you doing here?" "I was here yesterday," he explained. "I wanted to see how businesses treat people who don't fit the usual mold. Your cafe was the only one that showed true compassion." Mrs. Delgado's eyes filled with tears. I don't know what to say. "I want to help you expand," Elon said with a smile. "We'll open more locations, but only if you promise to keep this mission of kindness alive." Cheers erupted in the cafe as customers hugged Mrs. Delgado. Within days, the story went viral. Social media exploded with praise for Musk's initiative. Videos of his experience gained millions of views, and Kind Grounds cafes began opening across the country. In an interview, Musk shared his final thoughts. "Sometimes, the biggest impact doesn't come from technology. It comes from simple acts of kindness. That's the real innovation we need in the world." The video ends with a powerful message: small acts of kindness can change the world. Will you be part of the change?